What's good, Green Thumbs? John Moody here, and this is the Johnny Learns Gardening YouTube channel. Welcome back to another episode of the weekly garden update. As I'm walking to the back to the garden, I've got some things to show you. I'm going to talk about some things that I need to do. I'm going to talk about what's going on and the development so far and the things that I've harvested. So let's do it. Today's date is Sunday, July 20th. It is about 11 a.m. in the morning. I came out here earlier to do some watering, and I did check the weather app. It said it was not going to rain, so I watered the garden. I trimmed some of the leaves, and then as I was trimming, it started to rain. So there's a little bit of a delay. This weekend has been a very busy weekend. Had a funeral to go to yesterday. Rest in peace, Mama Shirley. And today, Amelia has to go to a pool party, and then my wife is taking the kids up to the farmhouse. So, trying to get these things done. Anyway, thank you for listening. Start over here with my potatoes in the grow bag. So, they're still green. They are falling over, but I'm not sure if it's because I didn't put enough soil in the bags and there's nothing to kind of really support them. So I'm not sure if they're ready to be harvested, but yeah. In addition to that, whatever built this mound, I didn't think was still here, but then I'm noticing that there's still a hole over here, and then there's a hole over here. So I don't know what it is. Some type of creature is living around here. And last night when I let the dogs out, she did a bunch of barking. So I'm assuming it was because of that. What could it be? I don't know. But whatever. So far, I haven't noticed it affecting my garden. Just that big mound of dirt and then the holes. So whatever. No big deal. Flipping you over to the potatoes in the raised bed, some of them are still standing strong. Others are kind of falling over. However, they are still green, so to my understanding, I'm supposed to wait until they're yellow before they're ready to harvest. So hopefully they're still okay down there. So I guess I'm honestly not sure. He did say that it was rose, or these were roses, but my dad planted this a couple years ago, and it kind of stays hidden over here in the corner underneath the willow tree. And then I just now noticed one of these things growing in here. This is not a part of it. Same thing happened to my rose bush up front. So fairly certain it's not a part of it. The leaves look different. And I guess this variety of rose, is that a rose? I don't know. It kind of looks like it, but then it kind of doesn't. Anyway, this doesn't have any thorns. So I should take a picture and Google what type of flower this is. I feel weird calling it a rose if it's not a rose. But anyway, I will trim this down. And yeah, that's something that I have to do. The wildflower beds are still hanging in there. Sometimes they look really pretty, and then sometimes they look kind of sad. So I don't know if that's the weather. I don't know if the dog keeps running through here, or if that's just how it's supposed to be. Let's go ahead and talk about this broccoli. So I still have a few things forming. These are two different plants or two stems of the same plant. I can't really tell from here, two stems from the same plant. Nope, these are two different plants, planted really close together. So for future reference, I need to space these out better. And in this one, so what did I have? Three plants growing so close to each other? Yeah. This one I have harvested. The cut is actually way down there, and these side shoots grew way up here. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and try to harvest seeds from here. The very first year of gardening, I did have a broccoli plant and I did not harvest it and I let everything go to seed, but I did not know that's what was happening. Therefore, I wasted the opportunity to harvest the seeds. So I'll see what I can do about this one this year. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the cabbage. It has not looked good. I don't know if I should be tearing these off. That's the center, and it's not really forming a head, and I don't really know why. Not sure if I'm not feeding it enough, or if it's too close to the other plants, or if the pest damage was so great. But I mean, maybe it's still going, or maybe it's just kind of going through the motions, but not really gonna do anything. Only time will tell. I'm gonna let it keep going, so we'll see what happens. Now I want to talk about the corn. So, I have put a lot of effort into raising this corn. I made a video about transplanting and spacing them out, and they have grown and developed. They started to fruit and develop the tassels, I think those are called, as well as the silks. In my opinion, a little early. They weren't that tall, so I'm glad to see that they're still growing. And then I did plant some at different times, so some are still shorter than others and less developed, which is to be expected. I have a couple ears coming in. There's one. Looks like another one is developing next to it, so I'm happy about that. Coming along here. One here with another one coming. And on this stalk, I got one back there and another one coming down there. Nothing on this one. I got one here. Maybe another one coming down here. It's very, very small, but I guess it's coming. Okay. I was getting a little worried when I was looking at them the other day. Last year, some of the corn that I grew only had 1 year coming, so these look like they are developing 2 years for the most part once they get there. So these guys are coming along, but they're a little behind because I planted them at later dates. And then I also made a video where I was pollinating the silks with the tassels. So check that out. All right, let's talk about this zucchini. There's a bee in there right now, probably dodging the rain. But this particular plant, I have harvested one zucchini last week, and then I harvested one just the other day. We'll see if more fruit develops on that. Then coming along here, I have other zucchini plants that don't seem to be forming any fruit. So I got one, two, at least two more. So three plants, three zucchini plants total. And so far, I've only been able to harvest 2 zucchinis. So I don't know if they're just struggling because one of the problems that I wanted to talk about was crowdedness. So, as a beginner gardener, a novice gardener, I believe that I did not utilize my space correctly. I tried to put too much in here, and that's what's going to happen. So, I could be wrong. They could just be late bloomers. I did pollinate that flower, so we'll see what happens. And now I'll talk about the green beans. So, I got one climbing up the trellis, so that's excellent. And I'm not sure if, I guess I don't know if zucchini has, or excuse me, green beans have runners. Looks like they do, but not sure if this is all on one plant or if this is multiple plants. Either way, I have another one or growing up this corn stalk. So no fruit has developed yet, but we'll see what happens. Finally, in this bed, these are my sugar snap peas. I posted a video about the kids harvesting them, and I've been kind of picking away at them as time goes on. I can see at least one that needs to be picked right there. Let's go ahead and do that now while I'm thinking about it. It's teeny tiny, but thick. Was that the same one? Must have been. Okay. Well, we'll see if more peas come in. Hopefully, we didn't miss anything and nothing matured and the plant won't be done with its cycle. But looks like I got some things still growing, so we'll see what happens. Taking you over to the containers. This is my raspberry plant. It all started with this single stem that I thought I killed, and now all of this growth has been coming in. How are these thorns? They are a little flimsy, but they're still sharp, so be careful. I didn't know that these would be thorny. And yeah, I'm glad to see that it's coming along. We'll see if I get any fruit next year. I'm not really expecting anything this year. Moving over. This was the new blueberry plant that I bought this year. Yeah, it's not doing anything. So therefore, I finally transferred the lavender. So the lavender that I had in that little container, I transplanted with Amelia, made a video on that, kind of cool. The roots were kind of intertwined, so I didn't want to break anything up. So we kind of just put them in here, but at least they have more medium to grow in. And then the OG blueberry plant. I would always come here and say, oh, it's still green, so it's still doing okay. It's still kind of green. It's turning a little yellow now. I guess it's still doing okay. But yeah, it doesn't really look all that great. What do I do, guys? Do I stick with it, see what happens? Or do I move on and just get a new plant that's probably more developed? Let me know in the comments. The mint has come back strong. I harvested some and then it wasn't looking so great, but here it is. Still looking great. Parsley looks pretty good. Cilantro already starting to bolt. I will harvest those seeds. Black opal basil. I did harvest some, and it looks like it's still okay. And I didn't eat anything or I didn't put it on any food, but it did smell like the regular basil. Same with this, I did harvest some, so it's gone through some stress a little bit, I guess. But yeah, it's still okay. And then back here is more lavender. So I had 4 lavender plants that have started to develop in addition to the one in the previous container. But yeah, we transplanted these so we can give them a better chance to grow and develop and actually produce flower. This is the kiwi plant. I mean, it's doing its thing, I guess. It could probably use some more soil and maybe something better to climb on. It doesn't seem to want to climb on this post. It actually took out a piece of long grass. So I should probably pay closer attention to this, but I don't. So this is what it looks like so far. Again, I'm not expecting any fruit this year, so we'll see what happens next year. I had to move my wife's tomato plants to the back here. The weather has been really hot, and when it rains, it pours, but it's too far and few in between. So we felt like the tomato plants were taking a beating from the heat. They were wilting, and yeah, it just didn't look very good. Since they've been back here, they look a little better. Still got some flowers, still got some fruit. So yeah, we got to take care of our babies. This would be, let's see, my wife bought these, so these would be my stepchildren. Got to take care of the stepkids, folks. I will go ahead and take you through the jungle. So all of this is radish, and I'm gonna have a lot of seeds to harvest, but this was part of an experiment that I just all of a sudden decided to go through. I'm kind of regretting it, looking at all of the work that's gonna need to be done. But anyway, gotta learn, right? There was some type of plant growing in this corner. Not sure if it was a random pumpkin plant or maybe I planted a zucchini or cucumber. Looked something along those lines, but I felt like it didn't need to be here, so I ripped it out. I did pull up a carrot, and I don't know if it's one of the ones that I direct sowed or if it was just too close together. I just said something about spacing, right? But it looked very small, and yeah, it just wasn't good. So yeah, I readily admit that I did not thin them out probably like how I should, but that's part of my problem with overgrowing things or planting things too close together. I did pull out a beet, and it was not ready. So all of that just goes into the compost. But just taking a look here, I don't see a head coming out, so it's still coming along. It's probably too shaded from the sun for it to develop. So there's one down in there that looks like you can kind of see the head. But yeah, it's still not ready. And then more radish. What was I thinking? I guess this is a pumpkin growing in my compost. It looks like it started in the compost, and oh no, I thought it was rerooting over here. But yeah, there's that beet that I pulled, very small. And there's that carrot that I pulled, very small. I mean, it was there, it's just really small. I guess the pumpkin can keep doing its thing, but I wanted to talk about what I thought was me replanting cuttings from the tomato. All of this grew, but it doesn't look like it's a tomato. So maybe a random weed snuck by me. So I don't know, but it definitely doesn't look like the rest of the tomatoes. So I will be ripping that up. Let's move on. My jalapeños. It's my first time growing jalapeños. Still have some flowers coming in. I'm probably going to need some longer stakes, but when they were small, I tied them to these little teeny tiny stakes down here. I have already harvested some peppers. I have not eaten them yet, but yeah, that's really cool. This is what it's about, folks. It's really cool when you get what you're expecting. And then the watermelon. So this is my second round of watermelon. First one didn't make it. I didn't think this guy was going to make it, but he's coming along. And then this guy is coming along. So hopefully you guys pull through and get me some watermelon. So just like the radish over there, I plan to harvest the seeds of these lettuce plants. I don't necessarily need to. The seeds that I have in the packet are still there. I have other packets that I didn't even open, but this is more for experience and experimentation, harvesting the seeds. So I didn't know that they flowered like that. This is my first time growing lettuce. So it will be my first time harvesting the seeds. I have yet to watch any videos or learn anything about it, but based on my experience, I assume that's what I'm going to have to do. Then I got this guy. He's kind of annoying. I'm assuming it's a pumpkin growing in between the tomatoes. I thought it might have been maybe a zucchini, maybe a cucumber, but just from the size, I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's a pumpkin. But no fruit has developed, so I don't know. These are my cucumber plants. What do I need to do with these? Well, my dog is chewing this up. Okay. The fence is not good enough. I guess not when it's poking through. I am going to need to tie these up so that it works up the trellis. It's getting to be about that time. They're getting to be about that size. I probably need to do some pruning with all that dead stuff. So let's give these guys a good chance. And then why is this... They look so pathetic. Is that a case of planting them too close together? I got 1, 2, 3, 4 cucumber plants, probably 8 inches apart. Is that too close? Probably. Should I get rid of one for better space? Maybe. Am I going to do it? We'll see. But that's where I'm at so far. And the last thing that I want to talk about in this bed are the beefsteak tomatoes. So I have done a little pruning, I have done a little tying up, and there's plenty of fruit growing. but it's starting to be a jungle. I need to really clean this up and straighten this out. So you did some tying. That is some homemade bone meal that I made. Apparently, plants need different types of nutrients at different stages. What does bone meal provide? Calcium. It also provides phosphorus. And I guess that's what plants need to develop their fruit. Nitrogen is more for the leaves and foliage, but this is what we're here for, the fruit. So I got some stuff coming. I just need to clear this out. If it's not too hot, it's too rainy, or there's too many bees and I don't want to disturb them. So anyway, that is all I have for today, folks. I have a lot of work to do, and I'm going to have a lot of work to do. Do I still want to plant anything? I do. I'm not going to lie. I actually want to plant some radish where I actually harvest the fruit. I don't know if I'm going to harvest these carrots that are down there and then plant some to prepare for next year. From what I've learned, carrots are biennials. And what's the real purpose of doing that? The next year is when they flower, and that was so I can harvest seeds from them. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if that's what I'm going to do, but it's a thought. I'm a little concerned about the zucchini. The very first year I gardened, I felt like I was getting zucchini nonstop. That's kind of what got me hooked. Last year, I didn't do very well with zucchini. I think I was only able to harvest one fruit. I probably only had one plant that made it. I was more focused on other things. So I was kind of determined this year to get more things going. But I guess I've already harvested two, so it's better than last year. But I got two plants coming, or two plants here. I want more zucchini. And then the corn, I was getting worried that they weren't developing enough ears, but so far they are. So, patience. I need to worry about patience. Need to practice my patience. And then potatoes, I don't know what to expect because this is my first time. So, we will see. Anyway, as I was saying, thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share these videos if you like it. If you're interested in gardening, please follow my channel. I will go through the things that you are afraid to go through. So you get to see what I do and what can be done and what to do about it. So until next time, folks, take care now. Bye-bye then.